Hi guys, Linda here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Linda and I'm filming this video from Nigeria. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you all of the information that you need to know when it comes towards starting your hair business in 2022 and beyond. If you want to know all of these details, then please keep on watching this video. And since if you're not subscribed to my channel, please support your girl. Click on the subscribe button just right below. Also turn on the post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. So guys, without further ado, let's get right into this video. And take note, like for this video, I'm actually responding to questions I got from a client of mine. So what she was asking me is, she bought my hair vendor information and then she came back asking certain questions like, how do I approach this vendor when I first chat them? So the thing is, when you want to start your hair business, the first thing you need to know, the first things you need to actually source for is your hair vendor. You need to know what kind of hairs do you want to sell, what kind of hair is going to move in the environment you're actually in, or what type of hair would girls want to buy. So you need to then look at, after you know the type of hairs you want to sell, you now want to start looking towards which vendor are you going to be working with. Are you going to be working with 2 vendors, 3 vendors, 4 vendors? Are you going to just stick to just working with just one vendor? So you then start to research, okay, is it bone straight hair you want to be selling? Do you want to be doing more colored hairs? Do you want to be doing more coily, wavy? Do you want to have a mix of everything? Do you want to sell raw hair? Do you want to sell Remy hair? Do you want to sell hair that was mixed? It just depends on what you actually want to put out there, and also what do you want to be known for selling, and how much capital do you actually have to start this business. So first things first, get your hair vendor information. If you want to purchase my hair vendor information, I'm going to put a link to it in the description box. So once you've gotten your vendor information, the first thing you want to do is you just send them a message on WhatsApp. It's always best to chat with these vendors on WhatsApp because you can always have an history of the conversations you've had with them. So you send them a message, you just introduce yourself. My name is Linda. I would like to be purchasing hairs from you. Can I see a sample of all the hairs you have? Can you send me your price list? Can you send me your wholesale price list and your retail price list? Do you have a minimum order quantity? These are questions you should be asking the vendor. Do you have a minimum order quantity? What amount of hairs should I buy to qualify for discounts? You know, and you can also even try to even see if the vendor could actually give you a lower price that is different from what they have on their standard price list. So it's just about bargaining. You just need to just know how to speak to these vendors, and ask them. It's one thing for you to ask a question and the person says no, and then it's another thing for you to not even bother asking. So just talk to the vendor and see how you be able to get these hairs at the least prices possible. Guys, another thing you want to put into consideration is how much do you have available to start this business. If I'm gonna be honest to you, like the hair business is very capital intensive. Like you cannot do hair business without having at least money saved somewhere. It's not possible because buying hair, just this hair I have on my head right now, costs approximately 165,000 naira. So if you want to start a hair business and just one hair, this one wig I have on my head is 165,000 naira, then how much would you need to then have more options? Then you then start to see that at least you need to be able to have at least 5 different types of hairs that you can have available for somebody that wants to buy hair from you. So invariably, you need to have at least a minimum of 500,000 naira. Minimum of 500,000 naira. You cannot start your hair business in 2022 without having some capital. What you can do is, if you don't have the money available, you can take a loan from your mom, from your brother, from your sister, from your boyfriend, from your husband. Take a loan and then the first purchase you might need to get is probably like your vendor information. It doesn't cost so much to get vendor information from various people who sell their hair vendor information. And after you get the vendor information, then you're not using any money you have left to buy the hairs. When you're buying your hair vendor information, you're also going to be provided with your logistic a company that's going to be helping you shipping these goods into Nigeria. That's if you're in Nigeria. Or if you're in other African countries, then the same agent also ships to some other African countries. So you can also work with the same agents. There are also agents that will be provided for you that would also help you when it comes towards transferring your money, like making payments to the vendor. Because most times in Nigeria here, the government sort of puts a peg on how much you can actually send out from your dollar account. So it's actually $200. So you now find that for you to get this monies to your vendors, you have to pay an agent in naira. And when you're buying this naira, when you're paying this agent in naira, the exchange rate is usually very high. You're paying black market rate of around $580, sometimes $600, depending on what the prevalent exchange rate is at that time. So you then have to pay for these goods in naira, and your seller, the hair vendor starts to get this hair ready for you. After the hair is ready, it ships it to your agent, and then your agent sends it over to Nigeria. So on the average, most of these agents charge around let's say 15,000 naira to clear 1 kg of goods, or even less. So you need to now pay for receiving these goods. Let's say the hair you order was just like 1 kg of hair or 2 kg of hair. A kg of hair is 10 bundles of hair. 1 kg means 10 bundles of hair, while 2 kgs mean 20 bundles of hair, because 1 bundle of hair is 100 grams. So if you have 100 grams multiplied by 10, what you then have is 1,000 grams, and 1,000 grams is equivalent to 1 kg. So that's how they basically refer to hair as being, oh, these 100 grams of hair, and then they could just give you a price list, and the price list will have like per kg. So it's more like when you see a vendor's price list and you're seeing the price list per kg, you then know that you just have to look at the price that the vendor is giving you and divide it by 10 to get the unit price of 1 bundle of the vendor's hair. Then you probably multiply it by 2 if you're getting pieces of the hair, or you multiply it by 3 if you're getting 3 pieces of the hair. That's just how you'll be able to know the cost of the hair in question that you are buying. I said on the average you might need to use at least 500,000 naira to start your hair business. But if you can start with 1 million naira, please start with 1 million naira, because 500,000 naira right now cannot even get you a lot of hair. So start with at least 1 million naira, and start with at least 500,000 naira to 1 million naira. Then if you have as much as 10 million naira, you could do your hair big. You can run your business with 10 million, you can run your business with 20 million, 30 million. But before you start to invest that huge amount of money in your hair business, I would advise, make sure you've tested those vendors and you're sure that the vendors are giving you the best quality hair you can lay your hands on. You wouldn't want to just invest a huge chunk of money in a vendor that you can't trust. So be careful. I always advise, when you want to start something, always start small, then you can grow, you can build it up from there. Yeah. So the next question which she asked was which hair sells well in Nigeria and what length? If I'm going to be very honest to you, I think the hairs that tend to get the most demands are actually bone straight hair. People love bone straight hair. People love straight hairs. If you're not going to buy, let's say, the wavy hair or a coily hair, at least one hair you should have is a bone straight hair, because bone straight hairs are highly demanded. Like, it's going to sell out quickly. You can buy from length from like from 8 inch down towards 30 inch. Get yourself bone straight hair because it is highly demanded. You can just get the bone straight hair in super double drawn. At least with the super double drawn, you get the short strands you will see in it is less, or you can just buy it in double drawn or single drawn. But just make sure you get yourself the bone straight hair because it is highly demanded. It's the most highly demanded hair in Nigeria. Just get a bone straight hair. It's highly demanded. Then the next hair you might need to get is something wavy, like something like that I have on here right now is actually wavy hair. Wavy hairs are very beautiful. For me, I love wavy hairs, so I'll definitely always have like wavy hairs in my list. Another hair type I tend to always buy is, of course, the coily hair. But I think the most important hair you should just focus on is the straight hair. Then you can just also make sure you also have the straight hair in colored, like that's colored straight hairs, like the blondes, the burgundy, brown, like just the chestnut brown and all. Just make sure you have various shades of the bone straight hair. Some people even like the green colored hairs. But if you like that, please add that to the list of hairs, the colors of hairs you have. Yeah. And then what length of hair moves well? If I'm going to be very honest to you, if you can get length from like 8 inch down towards 30 inch, please do that. But if you can't get very long hairs, what I would, because of the budget you're working with, what I would advise you to do is just stick to getting like shorter length of hair, like the 8 inch hair, 10 inch hair, 12 inch hair, 14 inch hair. Those ones are perfect for making like those bulb cut hairs or just like straight hairs that just frame the face, you can choose to just buy lengths like that, because those ones will save you money. You're not going to spend so much to buy those lengths of hair, and they go quickly because it's more affordable. For somebody to buy just these 2 bundles of bone straight hair that I have here, this hair will probably cost around, let's say, 110,000 naira. But if it's a short hair, let's say something as short as this, maybe just 1 bundle of this hair might just cost, maybe 2 bundles of this hair might just cost somewhere around let's say 80,000 naira or so. But I should find that, so it'd be easier for someone to bring out 80,000 naira than having to bring out 100 and something thousand naira just to buy hair. So stick to getting shorter length, because it would it gives you more room to have more options. You don't have to spend so much when you're actually buying shorter length of hairs. Then with time, as your capital grows, and if you also see how how you get demands, you can then start buying longer lengths of hair, because you know that when the hair comes in, it won't just tie your money down. People are going to buy it up. Or you can choose to do pre-orders. If your customers are willing to be patient, when they pay you for the hair, you then go and order it and then have the hair delivered to them as soon as you receive it. So another question she also asked me is, what type of closure and frontals do people prefer? Take note, there are different types of closures. We have when it comes towards the size of the closure, we have the 2x4 closure, we have the 4x4 closure, we have the 2x6 closure, which is known as the Kim K closure. We also have 5x4, 5 closure, 4x4, 6x6, 8x8, I don't know, 7x7, and then for frontals we have 13x4 frontal, and we have 13x6 frontal. If I'm gonna be honest to you, which of these do people prefer? There's a high demand for Kim K closures. People love the Kim K closures because of how deep it is, and also the regular closures are the 4x4 closure. The reason why I like the 4x4 closure is it's not too expensive, and you can also play around with it. You can achieve a C part cut with a 4x4 closure. You can also still do a middle part on a 4x4 closure, and you can still do a side part on a 4x4 closure. The closure which I have on this wig right now is a 4x4 closure. You can see it still looks adorable, it still looks very beautiful, despite it not being like the Kim K, despite it not being a 5x5 or 6x5, 6x6 closure. So I'll just advise that when you're starting your hair business, at least have a 4x4 closure, have the Kim K closure, have the 2x4 closure, because those ones are the most affordable closures. Then when you now start to see that, okay, there's more demands for these other types of closure, you can then choose to start buying those other closures like the 5x5, the 6x6, the 13x4, 13x6, because those wider closures tend to give one a more glamorous look. So if you can actually invest in getting those type of closures as well, please do. And then another thing I actually want to dabble into doing from next year is learning how to ventilate my closures, because most times I find that when someone comes to ask me for hair, I might have the hair the person wants, but I might not have the closure size the person wants. So it's just best right now that if you can learn how to ventilate your closures, please learn how to do it. Just when you're buying the hair, buy an extra bundle of hair in a longer length, so you can use that extra bundle of hair to ventilate the closure that the person wants. So you just know that, okay, the only thing you're going to be bothering about is the time you're using ventilating a closure for the client in question. There are different types of laces. You have the brown lace, you have the HD lace, and I think you also have the French lace. So it just depends on what particular lace your hair supplier has available. That's what you probably be selling. But I don't really focus so much on the lace, because I don't really give so much attention to the type of lace which I use. But on the average, I think most vendors tend to just sell their hairs with the Swiss lace or the French lace. That's the HD lace. So another question she asked me is, which grade of China hair lasts long? The truth is, if you want to get Chinese hair that would last long for you, I'd advise you get raw Chinese hair. And let me show you guys what raw Chinese hair looks like. This hair which I have here right here is raw Chinese hair. It's not like the regular Chinese hairs that come in grade, like the whole grade 8, grade 10, grade 9, grade whatever. No. Raw Chinese hair doesn't come in grade, it's just raw hair. So this bundle of hair I have right here is a raw Chinese hair. Yeah. So this is the highest quality of Chinese hair you would find in the market, and it's in the natural straight form. So this raw Chinese hair is the best grade of hair you can actually get from China. But on the average, if you feel like you want to get the hairs that were processed, then I'll just advise you get double drawn hair or super double drawn Chinese hair, and get it in the highest grade that they have. If it's a 10 hair buy a 10A. If it's a 12A, they have buy a 12A or a 15A. At least those grades of hair would last longer compared to like the 6A, the 9A grades. So get the highest grade of hair if you want to get good quality Chinese hair. But the best quality for Chinese hair is actually the Chinese raw hair. Yeah, Chinese raw hair is the best quality, best, hands down. So another thing I told another thing I asked the lady to do is, when you want to place an order, please make sure you write out all of the orders you are trying to make from the vendor. Also write the prices yourself. Look at the price list the vendor gave to you as a guide. Write the prices yourself, just to make sure that when the vendor sends you their own price lists, you can actually compare and know, okay, did she calculate it well, just to make sure there are no mistakes. Then if you see that, okay, your price list is lower than her own price list, then you then know that, okay, there's a mistake somewhere. Then you ask her, okay, why is yours different from mine? Maybe it might be that, okay, bone straight hair, you have to pay an extra $5 for it or an extra $3 for it. Just need to answer those questions just to make sure that both of you are on the same page and there's no mistakes anywhere, there's no miscalculations. So always write down the orders that you are making on a list and send it to your vendor so that she can look at it and also still make her own your order list. Like make her own list with the prices and also send back to you, just to make sure they're like there's no mistakes whatsoever. After you've sent your vendor like the list of the orders you want to make, the next thing you definitely have to do is make payments. That's when you then contact the agents. You then contact the agents, or if you probably want to pay through Alibaba, if you're in a foreign country and your country bank, the banks available in your country allows you to make payments. There's no cap on the amount you can actually spend from the card. Then please, you can pay through the Alibaba app. That's for vendors that are on Alibaba, or you can just choose to pay directly to the vendor's bank account, or you can choose to pay. Some vendors even accept cryptocurrencies. So if you can actually also pay these vendors via cryptocurrencies, then please do. I think I might even start accepting cryptocurrencies for services which I render, or for just selling hair or selling products and vendor information and all. So whatever, we just pay a vendor, and then after you pay a vendor, the vendor starts to process your order. So another thing when it comes towards hair, if you're buying hair from Vietnam, most time these vendors have a processing time, and the processing time is usually like from 2 weeks to 3 weeks, or even 1 month or a month, and in some cases. So you want to make sure that you always plan ahead and get your hairs on time, because for me now, I'm having issues. Some hairs that I ordered from vendors since October, now it's December 25th, I haven't still received these hairs up until now. So if you're getting hairs from Vietnam, I swear, like you always need to make sure you plan ahead. You need to plan months ahead, because you really don't know what might happen. You don't know if your hair is going to get trapped in like the whole logistic process. If you want to even consider probably even using DHL to ship in your hairs, even if it cost you more, you might need to even start thinking about that, because man, receiving goods from foreign countries right now is becoming a whole lot of, like, it's becoming very complicated, because the airlines tend to give these logistic companies like they tend to give them they give them lower baggage allowance on what they can send. So right now it's just becoming more of an issue. So you want to be able to plan ahead so you can receive all of what you ordered on time. So another thing I want to also add is, when you receive your hairs, I know when you show people just the bundle of hair, it might not always sell the hair for you. So you want to try as much as possible to convert these bundles of hairs into wigs, so you can then sample this hair. Because if you just have the bundle of hair and showing it to somebody, the person might not really see value in the hair until when you put the hair on your head. When you put the hair on your head, then that's when people will now start to see the value of the hair, and they might now start to make purchases when they see it on your head, and they are sure that they like how it looks on your head, and they might be willing to then purchase it from you. Marketing. Try as much as possible to make yourself available on WhatsApp. That's the people you know, because truly the people that you know will be the first people who are going to patronize you. Always post hairs that you have available. Also go on socials. You can be on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Just always post whatever it is that you have available for sale on social media platform, because you never really know where you're going to get customers from. You never really would know who would see your product and be interested in patronizing you. So that wraps it up for me in this video. If you have more questions, if there are areas that I didn't address in this video, please be sure to let me know in the comment section. I'll be glad to respond to your question. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys, and if you got value out of the video, please make sure you give the video a huge thumbs up, share with your friends who are also going to get value out of it, and please subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Shop the Divine collection from ENL Beauty. This is our limited collection. Order it right now from our website www.enlbeautyng.com.